What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Again, we start off this video with going over some more domestic violence and sexual assault allegations brought upon by authorities to current MLB players. First, we start off with Braves outfielder Marcell Ozuna. But hold on, guys. Before we get into the video, I need you guys to go down below, hit the red button, go subscribe. We're on the road to 1K. You know I've been grinding all summer long, so if you want to keep seeing great baseball content from MLB Chatterbox, go hit the red button on the road to 1K, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. It says Major League Baseball has placed Braves outfielder Marcell Ozuna on administrative leave as it continues to investigate domestic violence allegations made against him, reports David O'Brien of The Athletic. MLB has not made a formal announcement. He, being Ozuna, has not appeared in a game since being arrested on May 29th after police responded to a domestic disturbance at his residence. Court filings at the time indicated that the responding officers saw Ozuna place his hands around his wife's neck, throw her against a wall, and strike her with the cast that was on his hand. Felony charges originally brought against Ozuna were dropped in early August. Prosecutors moved forward with a pair of misdemeanor charges. This week, Ozuna agreed to enter into a 3 to 6 month domestic violence intervention program that could see those charges dropped if he completes all required measures. The joint domestic violence policy authorized MLB to impose discipline in the absence of criminal charges. Even if both misdemeanor charges against Ozuna are ultimately dropped, he could still face a suspension depending on the results of the league's own investigation. So, if you've been following this story and probably Trevor Bauer's story more closely, they're one and the same. So in both cases, it doesn't matter if the courts, the legal courts, find anything on Ozuna or Bauer. Regardless of what happens in the legal outcomes of both of those cases, MLB can still do its own investigation, and if they feel they found something that has significant evidence and to them proves that either Ozuna or Bauer did something terribly wrong to the respected women, then baseball can discipline Trevor Bauer and or Marcell Ozuna by handing him down some sort of baseball suspension, whether it's 60 games, 80 games, 100 games, or a season suspension following the result of their investigation. So basically, Ozuna and Bauer are in the same boat when it comes to their own personal domestic violence cases. And we will have an update on Bauer a little bit later in this video. Next, we have some news on the Boston Red Sox pitcher, Chris Sale. It says a COVID-19 outbreak in the Boston Red Sox clubhouse is not over. If you can remember, a lot of guys on that Boston club have been testing positive for COVID. A new case just popped up, which involves the starter, Chris Sale. This is not good. It says, as ace, Chris Sale will miss at least his next start after testing positive for the illness. Sale, who will have to sit out a minimum of 10 days under MLB protocols, was scheduled to start against the Chicago White Sox on Sunday, tomorrow. He feels good, manager Alex Cora said in a Zoom call. Actually, he feels great. Hopefully, he can come back after the X amount of days are done. So at least he feels good. He's probably asymptomatic. But again, we don't know that for sure. It goes on to say, Sale is a 10th Boston player since August 27th to test positive for COVID-19, with 11 others sidelined because of the symptoms or close contact with positive carriers. 8 players, including shortstop Xander Bogaerts, reliever Matt Barnes, and starter Nick Pivetta, are on the team's COVID injured list, although some could rejoin the team this week. But again, Chris Sale going down with COVID is the worst news for the Red Sox. This is terrible. Why is it terrible? Well, since his return from Tommy John surgery, Sale had looked like his old self. He went 3-0 with a 2.52 ERA in 25 innings across 5 starts for the Red Sox amid his return on August 14th when he pitched against the Orioles in Boston. And as of right now, when I'm filming this, the Red Sox are currently 80-62, which gives them the first wild card spot in the American League. They're up 1 game on the Yankees, who are in the second wild card spot. But again, they're 9 games back of the division. So it doesn't look like the Red Sox are going to be able to go on some type of miracle run and win 15 games straight and leapfrog over the first place Rays, especially with Sale being out even longer now. I mean, they're losing him. They lost him for most of the season, came back in August, was doing really good, and this COVID thing popped up. This is the worst time for this thing to happen for the Red Sox. The division title's irrelevant. Their pass to the postseason is a wild card. And the only good thing for them is that the Yankees got their butt kicked by the Blue Jays at home. And that's why they're still only a game up on the Yankees with the first wild card spot. The Yankees actually did their job against the Blue Jays. They could have been either in the second wild card spot or been out of the wild card race. This is very critical times for the Boston Red Sox and everybody in that AL wild card standings. And Sale going down does not help. Now here's one more thing to note when it comes to Chris Sale testing positive for COVID. It says, quote, "It is unknown if Sale is vaccinated." And it's also known that Sale did test positive for COVID-19 once already during the offseason. So you can take it for what it is. Is he vaccinated? Is he not vaccinated? I feel like it's safe to assume that he's not vaccinated, because if he was vaccinated, he probably wouldn't have got it because he already had it. And we can assume that he didn't have the vaccine when he tested positive for it in the winter, because really no one got the vaccine in the winter. So take it for what it is. Chris Sale got COVID. Is he vaccinated? We don't know. It doesn't matter. Why? Because he's going to be out 10 days regardless, and he will miss his start against the White Sox this weekend. All right, so we have another update when it comes to sexual assault and domestic violence. Of course, the number one guy when it comes to sexual assault we've been talking about all year is Trevor Bauer. Now, Jeff Passan, our friend here on the channel, tweeted out an update regarding Trevor Bauer's status when it comes to his possible return here in 2021. It says, Dodger pitcher Trevor Bauer will miss the remainder of the 2021 season and the postseason after MLB and the MLBPA agreed to extend his administrative leave, a league official told ESPN. So, Trevor Bauer's season is done. I feel like at this point, we all knew it was coming. You know, the thing that sucks about the Trevor Bauer case is that he's still on administrative leave, and is going to be on administrative leave until the end of the season. Not until the end of the regular season, until the end of the whole darn thing, until the last out of the World Series of 2021 is recorded. So basically, Trevor Bauer got paid for the whole season. Again, this doesn't mean a suspension can't get handed down sometime between now and the last pitch of the World Series. But it looks like baseball figures they're not going to figure out the results of this thing until way after the World Series. And probably they won't figure out what will really happen with Trevor Bauer until 2022 rolls around. I think it's really dumb. I don't like it that he's getting paid. You know, I want him to pitch because I'm a fan of his, but if he's going to get, basically suspended, basically is what is a suspension, for the whole season, like, why do you have to pay him? I really don't like that. I mean, they're calling it administrative leave. They're not calling it a suspension because they can't technically hand down a suspension without any evidence. That's their problem, is that they have no evidence yet on a local level, and they probably don't have any evidence in regard to their own investigation, being MLB. So MLB has its hands tied up with this Trevor Bauer sexual assault situation, and they have had their hands tied up with Trevor Bauer for the whole season. It is ridiculous. Whatever, baseball's retarded. It really is. Alrighty. Last update involves the New York Yankees. It says the Yankees are placing starting pitcher Jameson Taillon on the 10-day IL with a right ankle tendon injury. Right-handed pitcher Sal Romano has been selected on the 28-man roster. Again, this sucks. Yankees need pitching, whether it's the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Blue Jays or the Athletics. Anybody in that AL wildcard race cannot afford to lose a significant part of their roster, particularly in their starting rotation. And just like the Red Sox, the Yankees will suffer another loss to the rotation via the Jameson Taillon injury. Now, this wasn't all the bad news for the Yankees this past weekend. No. To make things worse, the Yankees just got their ass kicked at home via a sweep by the Blue Jays. Not just a 3-game sweep, a 4-game sweep. 4 games they got their ass kicked by the Blue Jays. Game 1, Yankees lost 8-0. Game 2, Yankees lost 5-1. Game 3, Yankees lost 6-3. Game 4, Yankees lost 6-4. and to add some salt to already a very, very bad open wound for the Yankees in this sweep with the Blue Jays, it was the first time that the New York Yankees got swept in a 4-game series at home without holding a lead in any of the games. Any of the games, they did not hold a lead for one single solitary moment. This was the first time it happened to the Yankees since 1908. They put this on the Yankees broadcast. This is terrible. The only saving grace for the Yankees coming up in this next series is that they're facing the Mets, albeit at Citi Field in Queens. But again, the Yankees always kick the Mets' ass. Am I right? That's the only good thing for the Yankees. So that's all I got for today's video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on the road to 1K. And I'll catch you later.